that moment of reflection and forcing people to think, whereas the only person who was made to think was, welcome to the Bulletproof for BJJ podcast. Joey here, JT. Brother.
Talk to me.
Couple of interesting things of late.
Please, regale.
Yeah, well, a couple little things that are like sort of random things from different parts that I thought I'd mention to you. I want to share.
Illuminate.
First one is I have noticed really, really good results. I've been coaching Monday nights, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And I've literally been coaching the same thing for a minimum of 6 weeks.
Awesome.
And so it's like mount. Every Monday night is mount for 6 weeks. And we've had a couple of public holidays lately. So it's drawn out to like 8 weeks. It's like 2 months because the gym's closed on public holidays.
That's right. Yep.
And I'm doing slightly different parts, right? Like, hey, let's talk about, getting to mount. Okay, next week, let's review that. Now let's look at like one really solid system of attack and kind of thing. So it's not just the same shit.
Sure.
But I'm noticing really good results, and the feedback from the guys like, man, my mount game has fully changed.
Amazing.
Because they're like, for the first time, I'm just actually acquiring, like I'm able to take the information and learn it and then practice it versus learn it on the night and then forget it and do something else.
They're getting enough exposure to the position and the skills to be able to actually implement them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's just a really fascinating learn for me because, it's so pervasive in jiu-jitsu that it's always new techniques.
Changing all the time.
And I think because I'm not a regular jiu-jitsu coach, I feel free of the pressure of like needing to come up with something fresh.
Or a formula you have to stick to, or
I don't have to please anyone. I'm like, this is what was working. This is what was working well for me. And so I'm like really and the guys are like, man, this is great. And I'm like, shit, there's something in that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really good. I think for whatever reason, the way we've come up in jiu-jitsu, we tend to perpetuate the systems and the formats we learn, right? And I know what formula I like, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's what works for a beginner who's learning a skill, right? Like my favorite format is usually warm up or drill whatever I'm working on. This is the format for the pro class at Absolute. Lockie would be like, all right, we're going to do specific training so you can work on the thing you're working on. Or if you didn't bring something, do the thing that I'm talking about, and he'd show that. And there'd be a ramp up of intensity of drilling from like a 30%, 70%, full blown for specific, and then roll. I love that. Like, I really like that. And also the decompress breakdown at the end. Like he would make everybody sit there for an additional 15, 20 minutes and be like, right, you can't leave. You know how sometimes at like a yoga class or whatever, they like put like a meditation at the end, and some people just like, meditation, I'm out. And they just leave, right? And Lockie had found that if he didn't make everyone stay, but what was great about making everyone stay is it made people engage. Yeah, if you let some people go, it destroys the sacredness of that moment. There's a container. And it's like we're in this here for the container, And I feel like everyone got a lot better because people were more engaged with the process. And I think whatever gets people engaged, I think often sticking to a formula that you've learnt, people switch off. They're like, oh, this is the time where I don't have to pay attention. So people just disengage. But it sounds like from what you're doing with people, they're really engaging with the information. Yeah, so I think I agree, right? Like, there's some gyms I'm sure you've heard of too that have like a standard warm up. It's the same every workout, every session. And I think that kind of idea definitely does get dry because you're like, people switch off and stop. They're not searching for, you're not giving them a new challenge. Yeah. And so, so with Mindsay, the theme is the same. The stuff we're looking at is the same, but the delivery is different every time. Okay. And what I've been trying to do is force people to be mentally engaged. Okay. So something that I do, and I'm not trying to blow steam up my own ass here, but I think it works pretty well. Joey's backbend mobility is pretty good.
Yeah. But what I've been doing is, we'll do our warm up and I try to make that fun and challenging. And then we'll do...
But here's something where I think you have a distinct advantage over most jiu-jitsu coaches, which is like you have this orientation from movement, which has like games. Like
Yeah.
there's an element of play. Like even if I was looking at some of the video taken from your coach's intensive, and you were, and I was actually here that on the Saturday, and I was looking down from the jits class upstairs, and you were doing like a pushing game.
Yeah.
And the person kind of had to stay in contact, the other person. And I was like, that looks interesting. Like I already have a vague awareness of what that is, but you have a whole bag of tricks when it comes to getting people engaged, which many people don't have, right?
That's true. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm able to kind of take that and apply it in a sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, something that I've been doing, and I think I actually picked this up from, remember I told you like the guys that were running the early sessions at Balmain?
Yes.
It's like some purple and brown belt.
Yeah.
And they're really like, the sessions were highly structured and they were really, like they forced everyone to be involved and share reflections. And I'm like, wow, I've never experienced this in a regular jits class.
Okay.
And so I'll do the warm-up piece and we'll like go through maybe some specific drill. And then I'll tell everyone, hey, you got 5 minutes to review what you learned last week.
Oh.
And I'm like, remember guys, we went over this, and remember, and I'll kind of gauge it. I'll be like, remember I told you that thing about the underhook? and I'll be like, cool. So no one asked me any questions for the next 5 minutes. You figure it out. Okay. You guys were there. You and remember it.
All right.
And you see people and they're like, oh, okay, they're talking to it. Oh, okay, so he said that we need to do, oh no. Yeah, okay. So, and they're like fumbling through it, right?
Nice.
Some people are just like bam, bam, bam.
Yeah.
But that moment of reflection and forcing people to think, yeah, whereas from what I remember in my journey, the only person who was made to think was on the occasion when the coach would say, JT, show us the sweep we did yesterday. And you start shitting yourself. But everyone else is like, oh, thank God I didn't get picked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm like, that 5 minutes seems like really, really powerful.
To force people to recall.
And not everyone was there. So I say, hands up if you were here. Okay, cool. Make sure you partner with someone that wasn't here and you can teach them.
Nice.
You know, but in any case, we talk about reflection, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And we talk about like journaling as a way to, like journaling for jiu-jitsu, like writing down what you learned.
Yeah, interesting. A judo guy I know, shout out Kevin Lee, he has a judo journal, which these are very common apparently. For each technique, you have a page and you break it down. And I'm like,
that's just a notebook that you do that, or it's a thing that's given.
Yeah. No. It was formatted. It's designed for folks who train judo. I'm like, wow, it wouldn't be that hard to just cross out judo and write BJJ.
Yeah, Dewey.
Yeah, because it's just like, it's so simple, but it's so helpful.
Right. Yeah, I mean, so the note-taking thing we know is important because it is the reflection piece.
Yeah.
I've tried it.
Not everyone's going to do it, and it doesn't work for everyone. I
right. So I'm like, I won't do that. But I'm at class. So if you say to me, go review what we did last week, you will force me to reflect.
Yeah, that's
and
good.
It doesn't require any extra sort of time or effort on my part outside of class.
That's nice.
Yeah, I've been really into that.
That's great.
You've been training jits of late?
No, I have not. I haven't trained jiu-jitsu for 2 weeks. Been to a couple of open mats. Got caught in a bit of a heel hook duel. No injury, but annoying. I have a new person on my blacklist. I'm coming for you. Because I did the defense and then they countered my counter. I was like, I've got the counter. And I was like, oh no, I'm getting countered. I didn't know I'd get countered from there because I've been aware of it for a little while. My jiu-jitsu hasn't probably progressed that much in the last 12 months. Like, I haven't learnt a whole bunch more. I've been paying way more attention to takedowns, different ways to chain together different takedowns. I've been paying way more attention to wrestling. So I've been looking at how those things sequence. I haven't even been given any cares about really passing guard or playing guard. I'm like, how do you put a motherfucker on the floor? And that's been kind of exciting and more interesting to me.
So when you say you got count, what went down there? Did you get tapped?
I did. I did get caught. It was an interesting thing. I think it's called an Ebby lock. It's like a toe hold, but you hug the person's foot to the chest. So I'd slipped my foot out from the heel and I was turning and I was trying to get out and they caught my foot across their chest. They caught the heel and they turned in. So it's more like a toe hold. Yeah, so they trap and the thing is, here's the thing. I'd seen the technique the week before, and I was like, oh, like an Abbey lock or an Ebby lock. It's a Japanese word. And I was like, oh, that looks sick. And then the guy did it to me, and I was like, I hate that. Anyway, I didn't realize that this guy was particularly technical with leg locks. I was convinced I'd be able to defend and beat him, but he got me.
Got you good.
And I didn't get him back.
Damn.
So now he's on the fucking list. So yeah.
So what's going to happen? You're going to go back in there and duel the guy?
I'm going to get that guy. I'm not going to come in halfway. I'm coming for that guy. I don't have to leg lock him. I just need to beat the fuck out of him. He's a strong guy. Like it's not like, oh, I'm much stronger than him. We're probably relatively even, which hurts me to say. But no, I got to fuck that guy up.
Would you ever consider letting it go?
What the fuck are you talking about, man? All losses need to be avenged, bro. No way. I'll let it go when he taps. As in, I'll let go of the heel before I rupture his knee socket. Nah, it's one of those things for me because it forces me to work on my jiu-jitsu. That's what I was going to say. My jiu-jitsu technical level's gone down or it's stagnated. So now me getting caught, it's like, hey, you got to work on that. There's a hole there you didn't consider. And so it's like, okay, I'm going to have to put some time aside. I got to work on my jiu-jitsu. You can't just assume just going to just roll into any open mat and just steamroll people. But it was more that, one, I underestimated his technical ability, and then maybe I probably overestimated my own defense or my ability to get out. So yeah, man, it's just one of those things. I would like to put more time into my jiu-jitsu, and that time is coming. But we'll see. There's a few things to do in the next couple of months, so it's going to be busy.
This episode is brought to you by Parry Athletics, the exclusive apparel sponsor of the Bulletproof for BJJ podcast. We've been working with these guys for quite some time now. We absolutely love the company. We love their gear, both for training and also just looking slick off the mats. They got excellent no-gi wears, shorts, t-shirts, all that cool stuff. If you want to get yourself into some Parry clothes or you want to rock the Bulletproof for BJJ exclusive merch, you got to go through Parry. Go to parryathletics.com and use the code Bulletproof20 to get 20% off your order. They ship internationally. Fuck, I want the update on when this duel goes down.
Yeah.
So what do you think would happen if you showed back up, right, and he caught you again?
That's not happening.
What if it happens?
It won't happen. I'm not giving him the opportunity.
I mean, I respect and admire the fact that you are insistent it will not happen.
I would
but
play
surely
a
you
different
can
game.
acknowledge
I'd
that there is
play
a chance
2-3.
it could happen.
No. In a 10-minute period, if I decide you're not going to get to my legs, you're not going to get to my legs. It's going to be a boring roll. You're going to be
What if he snaps you down and guillotines that ass?
All right, good luck. No, this guy's going to full guard. He's going to full guard and he's going to try and go to my legs. That's the formula for him, clearly. Because I tried to wrestle with him and he just pulled.
I think he was just working on it that session. I think he's actually not very good at legs, from what I've heard.
Maybe.
He's more of an upper body pressure guy.
We're yet to see. I highly doubt it. But anyway, it's one of those things that it's good. I don't know. I have thought about this more recently because I have been trying to be more accepting, forgiving, all these different things to be a happier human. It's interesting. It sounds stupid, but in The Last Dance, Michael Jordan is the single most competitive human probably in the history of humans, but he's also not a happy human. He's not the happiest guy ever, right? And actually, he always finds a way to be insulted or upset about something, right? And there's a great, the meme that was made about it, it's him sitting there with his cigar and his whiskey, and you could take anything, and I think it was to do with Isaiah Thomas and the Bulls, but the Bulls lost to the Detroit Pistons back in the day, and they beat the shit out of Jordan when he was a bit skinnier and a bit younger in the journey. But he would invent ways to be insulted or upset with someone so he could be like, damn, I'm going to get revenge. And then when they go back and interview the person's like, oh no, I never said that. I wished him good luck. He's like, and I took that personally. You know what I mean? I do actually, I think I do these things to myself.
I can absolutely confirm for you that you do.
I blow them out of proportion because it drives me to take action, to fix what I feel is not working. And it's not even really personal to them. It's just...
It's the fuel you need.
Yeah, something like that.
So that being the case, do you feel like the anguish, say, that you experience...
The despair.
Yeah, in terms of like, that motherfucker got me, I'm coming back and settling the score. Is the anguish worth the outcome of got him?
No, the outcome is like... The outcome's never that good. It's always like... It's all process, right? But I think it's always relief. Like, I think that's it. It's like, okay, I worked that out. Cool. All right, on to the next thing that's eating my brain. Like the heat death of the universe. I don't know. There's so many different things that can take you in different directions. But I think, at least with my relationship with jiu-jitsu, it's for a long time been more competitive than creative. But the competition element has forced me to work on things and improve things that didn't work. And when I don't have that, I'm probably not as motivated. I think that's what I'd say.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But, man.
You know what fires you up?
Josh Saunders versus Gordon Ryan to get me fired up, bruh.
Mate, what an opportunity for Josh.
Amazing.
Josh Saunders is Australia's premier no-gi grappling heavyweight. Big boy from Western Sydney. He's ready for the elite level of grappling.
He's got some strong legs on him, man. He got big hips, big strong legs.
Bro, broad shoulders on the guy.
Very wide.
It's fascinating. He seems to have the exact same body type as Gordon.
He's
like in terms of the short, taut, like long legs.
He's more built than Gordon.
More built, but like that. Gordon's got like quite long legs, long arms.
Yeah. Oh no.
Yeah, which are like
proportionately. Damn. I think he might even. I don't know how they stack up, kind of side by side. I would say Josh Saunders is actually more hench, physically, but obviously Gordon Ryan historically. What's interesting to me about this matchup is...
Who's number one, right?
Yeah, who's number one. And Gordon Ryan, I think, is looking for some kind of a tune-up before ADCC. Yeah. So he's like, I need someone who I can go up against who's going to physically push me, but maybe not as good at jiu-jitsu. But I think this is a mistake. I'm not saying this because I think Josh is better at jiu-jitsu than Gordon. But what I'm saying is I think Josh is better at jiu-jitsu than Gordon gives him credit for. And in that way, that can create problems.
Why do you think that Gordon is not giving him the credit in terms of his jiu-jitsu?
It's Gordon Ryan. I mean, but the thing is, what people don't probably appreciate about Josh, because he comes through, he's such a strong personality and he's such a full force human. He's like a velociraptor. That guy learns shit at a crazy rate.
My son's been all about velociraptors lately. He's making me think of the song. Go on.
So smart.
Yeah,
they're so smart.
They're small though. So
they're small, but no
bad comparison. But
no. But I'm saying in terms
savage,
clever girl. Like he just like, you know what I mean? Like I think in the same way for a long time Gordon underestimated Nicky Rod, and he was like, like I'm technically better than Nicky Rod, and then Nicky caught him in the toe hold, right, and just yanked his ankle, right, and I believe that Josh Saunders has that ability to just grab your head and yank your head off until your neck breaks. Yeah, and then he's a bit of an unstoppable force. Like when he fought Penna at ADCC, Penna said to him, man, like, I mean, it wasn't a backhanded compliment. He said to him, like, bro, you're one of the strongest guys I've ever grappled.
Did he say that?
Yeah. Like he's legit. So interested to see how that plays out as a warm-up for ADCC.
Yeah, I reckon. I question because Gordon, like, he doesn't shy away from challenges. And you look at who he's fought. Like, of course, he's taken any and all comers.
But recently he hasn't competed for ages. He's coming off the back of illness. A lot
True,
of other things.
I gotta say, I'm surprised at how he often throws himself into a matchup that you're like, holy shit, like. That's tough.
Well, it's confidence.
It's confidence, and I think he knows what he needs to get fired up, right? Similar to what about yourself, right? Sure. Like, so he's like, I'm going to put myself against someone that's a real threat to force me to be my best. And generally, he just beats them.
He does. And, Gordon...
Which is, what makes him impressive, right? In that way. Of course, the time is going to come where someone beats him.
Yes.
Like, it's going to happen. So you're like, well, Josh could be the guy.
Is it this?
Yeah, it's super exciting.
Yeah, and I think the awesome thing is it just will help fuel him. Whatever the outcome, it'll help fuel him for ADCC. Because that's
Josh or Gordon?
Josh.
Yeah.
For Josh. Like Gordon, I think the hardest thing is it's like anyone. Once you've got like Conor McGregor when he had the Floyd Mayweather fight, that destroyed his MMA career because he made so much money and got so much fame. He was never really going to get more than that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Once you've really peaked at something, the only place is down, right? And I'm saying this with full respect to Gordon Ryan. Gordon Ryan's done everything. What is left for him to do? Do you know what I mean? Like in terms of money, accolades, his name. You know, like I feel there is a moment coming where he maybe takes his eye off the ball a little bit and someone who's hungrier, bigger, stronger just comes through and comes and takes that.
Do you reckon we see? I mean, I know you called this some time ago, and that we're seeing the end of the Gordon piece. But do you think that, I kind of imagine he's going to win this ADCC, he's going to win the super fight, and then he's going to retire. Well, I can't help but feel like that's sort of the way the narrative's going to close out.
I believe maybe that's what will happen. We are definitely towards the end of the era because he can come back at any time. You know, he retires, he comes back, etc. But also, he's not going to cross over to the CJI. I mean, he'd love the $1 million. No, because really, that's just not going to happen. So, what bigger thing can he do other than maybe setting up the GJI? the Gordon Jiu-Jitsu Invitational.
It just looks like a MAGA rally.
It's just utes.
Red caps.
Yeah,
you get it.
Guns.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, lots of guys in tactical wear.
Yeah.
The speed dealer glasses, tactical wear.
Yeah, toe hold thongs.
Yeah.
Rolling in the mud and then shooting shit.
I've had that situation a couple of times recently where I've come to training with some water, but I haven't had any electrolytes, and I've finished training and I've had to go to a convenience shop and buy myself some kind of sports drink, usually a Gatorade. Cost me like $7. It's small and it really doesn't contain that much of the good stuff that I'm looking for, which are the electrolytes. Sodi, on the other hand, is my partner when it comes to hydration, and I'd simply just run out of it. And it sucks because I got to go buy expensive stuff that doesn't do anywhere near as good a job. I'm super stoked that we've been restocked with the Sodi, and now I can be properly hydrated when I train jiu-jitsu. This has always been an underexplored aspect of my training, and I'm so stoked that we now have these guys in place to support us and also the listeners of the show. So if you want to be hydrated on the mats so that you can perform at your best and have the best mental clarity while training, get yourself some Sodi. Go to sodi.com.au. That's SODII.com.au. Get yourself some delicious hydration salts and use the code bulletproof15 for 15% off. Go to sodi.com.au. Get yourself hydrated.
No, I don't know, man. Like it's a challenge. Something else I want to mention about the who's number one. Adele Fornerino versus Anna Rodriguez.
Anna Rodriguez, I'm not familiar with her.
So Anna is, she's actually pretty open about her supplement use.
Oh, yeah.
She won the ADCC trials in Brazil. She's a bit of a beast, under 60.
Were you saying she's juiced?
100%. She's pretty open about that. She is, I believe, Fabrizio Andre's girlfriend or close friend. You know, they're always together. I'm not sure if originally she was Dream Art, but now Fabrizio Andre is Alliance. But they train together, and she's a bit of a killer, you know. I think she might have won. No, did she win no Worlds? No. So Adele got silver against another woman from AOJ. I've forgotten her name. I apologize. But it was a very close match there. And Anna Rodriguez is very public, very mouthy, very confident. I'm the best. Everyone else can get stuffed. And so, you know, Adele is bringing the big daddy energy. And I believe that Adele can get it done. And this will be a real precursor to that under 60 category at ADCC.
Yeah.
Serious business.
So how many women's categories do we have at ADCC this year?
3.
Okay.
So
under 60, 60 to 80.
Under 70, and then over 70.
Over 70.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the absolute. So It's
So if Nikki were there again, she still would have been going against.
no, Nikki's.
Oh no, because Gabby's at the CJI.
Yeah. No, Nikki is fighting over 70.
Okay, she is.
Yeah.
So is Gabby in ADCC?
No. So she has been very public.
I mean, I know she's doing CJI, but she could potentially do both.
No. It's very interesting because she's been posting on her social media about the CJI have been sending her gifts and sending her money, and she's like, "Oh, look at the love I get." You know, it's so interesting because her relationship with Craig has been like quite antagonistic, but now Craig's just like, it's huge leverage for him to have her promoting his event. Yeah. And so he's just like, they're just loving her up. And even though it's kind of a little bit, and this is the thing, you know, we were talking about before, Craig is always low key, just negging everyone. Like he's always just, but she's like, oh, the CJI loves me. And like, this is what you need, people as athletes. She was speaking Portuguese, but it was translation. You know, you need to have support and you need to get paid and you need to know your worth and all this stuff, you know?
Yeah, well, I've wondered about because, you know, like some of the stuff he posted about her back in the day, like she could have, it was very derogatory, right?
Oh,
like when he got the oversized women's underwear delivered and shit. But it's hilarious as well. And I find fascinating to think about is, did they establish a thing early on where it's like, all right,
we're going to have this.
We're going to troll each other. I'm probably going to troll you way harder because that's what I'm great at. But both acknowledging, yeah, this will be fun and it's good for us.
I don't think it's organized. I don't think it's that organized. I think more recently for the CJI piece, he worked pretty hard to get her over the line to do the match with him.
Did he?
Because, yeah, I think he's paying her a fair bit of money. Like she had this photo of her on the bed with just bands on bands, thousands on thousands, just all around her on the bed. Like, look at me, I'm paid. You. And it's like, okay, for those of you who don't know, there was a comedian named Andy Kaufman back in the day, and he did these like rubber matches where he would like wrestling, kind of like Nacho Libre style, where he would like dress in a tutu and then
give me no special powers. They give me no nutrients.
And he would wrestle women, like women wrestlers, and he'd be like, "Oh, I'm stronger." And like Andy Kaufman wasn't like a jacked guy. I think it's called Man on the Moon. The film that comedian Ace Ventura,
Jim
Carrey played Andy Kaufman. But people hated Andy Kaufman because they thought it was serious.
Right.
He thought, oh, he's hitting that woman. He was like, ooh, you know, and like, you know, and it was he was really pushing the line on what's comedy and what's not. Kind of like Sacha Baron Cohen with like any of the stuff he does, right? I honestly believe that Craig is really pushing the line here on what is serious and what is ridiculous and kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to tell because of the way he puts it out there.
Oh, and absolutely.
It's genius because people are really, they kind of want to see what happens, right?
Oh, yeah, it's so fun. It's super entertaining.
Yes.
I got to say, I told you before, I listened to him on the Rogan podcast, which I initially wasn't like, I don't think I need 3 hours of that.
It's a lot.
But I listened to it, I was like, that was actually really fun, you know? And I'm like, man, the guy can hold a performance.
Yes.
You know, like you got to respect him. Like he's got a lot going on in terms of like, not only his ability to leverage things, you know, but to like be funny, like, and hold that line for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Like that's hard work.
It's psychotic. It's, it's, you know, to keep a straight face through some of the things he says is next level.
So while we're talking, you know, elite level grapplers, it would be remiss not to mention, do you see this fucking shit unfolding with Merengali and his 19-year-old girlfriend?
Can somebody, whoever manages Merengali, take his phone off him?
Bro.
He says stupid things and does even stupider things. I can't handle it.
It is just a fucking train wreck. Like the synopsis as I know it for those who are like...
in love with Mr. Handsome?
Oh, no, I'm not anymore.
Joe's been turned off.
No, we can curb that one. Look, I'm yes, yeah. You show me a picture of him, I'll tell you that's a handsome man. However, I'm just like, bro, like the more you talk and the more you play this character, or I feel like it's a character, but I don't know, maybe that's just who he is. I'm like, distasteful human. But the poster has been posting photos with, he's got a younger girlfriend, right? Sure. Fine, whatever, no big deal.
10, 11 years.
But yeah, she's 19, which you're like, okay, that's very young. He's 30. But he's posting these provocative photos, and then he's like, something, thank God in jiu-jitsu there's no pedophiles here. And you're like, bro, why the are you talking about pedophilia?
Why would you say
like,
that?
Yeah, and why, why do you have to, okay, fair enough. You fall in love with someone that's younger than you, and it's legal. I'm like, that's your bag. Right. She's allowed to do that. You're allowed. But I'm like, why do you got to talk about pedophilia? Why do you have to be provocative about her in a swimsuit? I'm like, it's so poor taste.
Yes.
And then so Craig's jumping on, and Craig's like got screenshots of like him having like knowing her for many years and like celebrating her 18th birthday or some shit. Yeah. You're like, oh man, it's a train wreck.
Yeah, and look, I just think for many people, with celebrities, if you look at like kind of top class celebrities, you look at like a guy like Ryan Reynolds, or you look at a guy like a Hugh Jackman, or even maybe not Leonardo DiCaprio, because he's kind of famous for dumping a girlfriend as soon as she turns 25 and getting a new 21-year-old girlfriend. But who was the gentleman who played Superman? Henry Cavill, right? Now, these people have clearly had training in how to speak to the media. Here's how not to embarrass yourself. Here is also how to not admit to crimes on TV. You know what I mean? It's just stuff like this where you're like, because of social media's reach, and it's just only a phone away, right? We are actually, as much as people like to see behind the scenes, you're like, I actually think I need a filter. I think I can't get too much honesty out of this person, because now I just don't want a bar of them. You know what I mean? Like that's...
Yeah. It's kind of wild.
I think the difficulty is because jiu-jitsu, and we are on the verge, my friends, we are almost there. It is becoming professional, and, athletes are getting agents, people are getting managed more, events are getting better.
It's professionalizing.
It is professionalizing. In the next couple of years, we'll see it a lot better, that we're not going to have as much just outright social just stupid behavior on behalf of athletes to not only hurt their personal image, but also help them be better people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, years from now, we will long for the days where people could just bury themselves with a series of incriminating Instagram stories. You're like, I can't get off it. It's too tantalizing. This guy's a idiot, man.
Loving the train wreck.
Yeah.
Nah, I got rid of the Instagram app. So my screen time went down 50%.
How about that?
Bro, it's crazy. So I do still use Instagram, but I'm only look at it if I'm on my laptop, which is only like an hour or two a day. But then I'm not.
Hour or two a day on the laptop, not on Instagram on the laptop.
No. I just kind of check in for messages, and it's actually less. I'll be honest, Instagram is much less fun on a laptop.
Yeah.
It's so much better when you can just like double click and swipe, and like the utility of a touchscreen phone is a beautiful thing for Instagram.
Yeah.
You take that and you put it on desktop, it's not as good. And it's just interesting that I've been feeling...
Why don't you just get a massive iPhone?
just get... feel like a 3-year-old?
Like.
No, man, I've been trying to read more. But anyway, it's cool. We're talking about doing things that help your mental health. But man, we are going to be at the CJI. We got our tickets.
We got tickets. We're going.
We're going to ADCC. We're going to be at the CJI. We're going to see what it's all about.
Omnipresent out here in Vegas.
Man, if Adam Jones doesn't hate my guts, shout out Adam Jones. I still love you. Please forgive me.
You got beef?
No, I love Adam Jones. No, I spoke bad about Craig, and he was upset about it. And whatever. I need to not speak bad about anybody, and I am a big fan of the CJI. And that's why we're paying money. We're going to be there. Hopefully we can get to the after party.
Yeah, I'm keen.
That'd be special.
Yeah.
So, also, I think the thing we're going to try and organise, and we've got to talk about a bit more, is maybe a bit of a meetup.
Yeah.
Try and connect with you folks. You're seeing this. If you're going to be in Vegas, Fight Week, Jiu-Jitsu Week, CJI, ADCC weekend, we'll be around. It'd be great to meet up at a bar, a restaurant, however it works.
Yeah, we were thinking because we're going to be in Vegas, we fly into LA. Oh, wait.
I'm coming in from San Fran.
Okay, you're coming from San Fran.
You're coming on the Wednesday?
Yeah.
I'll be on the Wednesday.
So I think we had spoken about maybe putting it out there San Fran, LA, Vegas, like where would the meetup work for the most amount of people?
Yeah.
Probably going to be Vegas. But yeah, like holla. If you, we'll put it out on the socials and on our app and stuff. If you want to catch us for a beer,
yeah,
it'd be great to meet you.
It'd be great to meet people in real life and just talk that smack and enjoy the weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers, guys.